In this tutorial video, I will be showing you the basic parts of the Roland LEJ640 printer and their function. The Roland has the ability to run a wide variety of rigid substrates such as paperboard and corrugated, as well as roll stock and plastic films, each with a different setup procedure. The Roland consists of the main body of the printer, a media guide and secondary front cover, two collapsible rigid media tables, and a separate ventilation system. The main power switch is located on the back of the unit, and the on-off switch is located on the control panel. The power switch for the vacuum system is located behind the printer on the vacuum unit. The control panel is located on the far right corner of the Roland and is used to set up the type of substrate being run, either rigid material such as corrugated or flexible roll material, as well as to control the various printer functions such as cleaning and maintenance. The on-off switch is located on the control panel and allows you to bring the Roland out of standby mode. The Roland should be kept powered on at all times since it performs automatic self-cleaning cycles at regular intervals. The loading lever is located above the control panel and is used to raise and lower the pinch rollers when loading a substrate. The front cover is located to the left of the control panel and runs the length of the printer. There are three tinted windows that allow you to observe the print head and substrate during operation. When loading a substrate for printing, you will need to open this panel to properly position the substrate. Do not leave this cover open for long periods of time, as this will interfere with the Roland's regular self-cleaning cycles and can cause ink dry up on the print head. After opening the front cover, you can see the pinch rollers that secure the substrate as it moves through the printer. Underneath each pinch roller is a grit roller that moves the substrate forward and backward during printing. Directly in front of the pinch rollers is a platen with regularly spaced air holes. The vacuum system pulls air through the platen to keep the media flat during printing. The secondary front cover is mounted on a movable base and mounts directly to the body of the Roland. The secondary front cover contains a media guide that prevents the material from jamming and guides it as it moves forward through the printer during operation. It also has a rubber curtain to contain the UV radiation used to cure the inks during printing. This entire unit can be removed to facilitate loading thin roll stock substrates. The unit attaches directly to the Roland using two hooks on either side that lock into two corresponding brass pins located on either end of the Roland. You need two people to properly mount or unmount the unit without risk of damage to the safety sensors. To mount the secondary front cover, first open the front cover. The entire unit is on a hinge for easier loading. Align the metal hooks to the brass pins on either side of the Roland. Tilt the side closest to the Roland upwards and slide it slowly into place. Close the main cover once you are done. There are two collapsible media tables for supporting the substrate as it passes through the printer. Each media table has two sections that can be collapsed by lifting upward to release the lock and lowering downward. Each media table rests on wheels and attaches to the Roland with a pair of hooks to corresponding pins on either end of the Roland. The front media table mounts to the secondary front cover with a pair of hooks. To mount the media table in the front of the Roland, slide it forward and align the metal hooks to the brass pins located at either end of the printer. Lift the section closest to the printer and guide it over the metal pins to secure it. To mount the media table to the back of the Roland, slide it forward and align the metal hooks to the brass pins located at either end of the printer. Lift the section closer to the printer and guide it over the metal pins to secure it. There are a series of green and white marks along the back of the Roland that show you the location of each pinch roller. When loading a material, use these marks as a guide for positioning the substrate. Ideally, you want to load the substrate so that pinch rollers do not hang off the edge. This diagram illustrates how to correctly position your media underneath the pinch rollers. Make sure to position your substrate as close to the print head as possible. The Roland has a roll-to-roll system that includes a media holder for mounting rolls on a core and an automated take-up system in front. The media holder is located on the lower portion of the back of the Roland and is mounted on a pair of rails that allow you to adjust the media holder to the width of your roll. The take-up system is located in the lower portion of the front of the Roland. There is a special core already mounted that is used to rewind printed roll material. The take-up unit control is located on the right side of the Roland under the control panel and allows you to set up the take-up system to automatic control during print jog or manual control for unwind and rewind operation. The manual control should not be used for unwind or rewind operation once the material has been loaded using the take-up system. The dancer roll is attached to the take-up unit and automatically maintains uniform tension across the substrate being printed. The dancer roll also acts as a trigger for the take-up system. The ink cartridges are located on the back of the Roland behind the ink cartridge cover. Removing the cover allows you to access and replace ink cartridges. The control panel consists of a display screen which shows various setting menus and status information, and cursor keys for moving through the various menu options. There are also several function buttons that will be covered in following lectures.